Good morning, Mr. Hankers. Hi, Mabel. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Uh-oh. Just have a low battery in one of them. There it goes. There it goes. Yes. Excuse me, girls. Don't jump on me. Don't jump on me. Don't jump on me. All right, babe. We're in the green room. There's already people waiting.
Survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
And there we are. This is Sarah's favorite Saturday morning adult cartoon. We'll try not to make it too adult. I save that for Friday and Saturday Night Live. But coffee clinks. I saw Miss Bryson on here, and she and I have always had our little coffee clink thing that we do together.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, everybody. This is wonderful.
I've been waiting for that, and it's a little bit earlier than normal today, and it's not. I can't say that I'm so excited about that because it was only because Cog Hill didn't go live because Brooke was feeling under the weather. So sending well wishes to Brooke, and hoping that Jason and Mary Carl don't get it.
We love us some Cog Hill, and I don't always have time to watch the full episode. They start at about 8, I believe. Hank, don't. Oh boy, here he comes. Just to
Hank needs to greet everyone, so he's giving it a stretch or two first, and
make your appearance and then get lost. Come say hi to hello, then get on out of here.
he's mad at you right now.
I don't think many of you guys understand how Hank operates. He has his favorite spots where he likes to perch, and I said perch throughout the day, and he only comes down 3 times that I can name. He comes down every time that Jamie and I sit down at this
Every time.
island.
Or he comes down for coffee.
To have when we have
He
our
participates
coffee.
in coffee every day.
He comes down every single morning. When I sit down and Jamie sits down, all of a sudden here comes Paloom, and he walks across the stove and he turns on every light. He turns on every button on the stove. Thank God he can't operate the knobs to turn on the gas, but he turns on everything else, the timers and everything else he turns on. And he comes over here just to put his tail in my coffee.
But when we also sit on these 2 recliners right here, he jumps over the back every time.
That's the second time. Whenever we have lunch and we sit down on the recliner over here, like Jamie said, we normally will eat there at the coffee table. And all of a sudden we hear whoop, and he comes right up behind one of us just to come down through our lap to see what we're eating. What's wrong?
A little bit like that. Is that okay?
I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. And then the third time will be the second that you lay down in bed. The second that you lay down in bed, Hank is here.
I just realized on occasion there's sometimes 4 in the bath.
Oh yeah, bathtub.
When
Every time.
Get into the tub, he comes in and he hops up along the side of the tub and he walks along the side. Now it's just a very narrow little catwalk, and he's knocking everything over because I have my phone propped up where I can watch something on my phone. I'm just reclining back in the tub, and
Hank is our screen time monitor is the best way I could put it, because he wants to be sure that he mitigates the amount of time we spend on a screen. Because normally when I lay down in bed, I want to watch something on my phone, and then normally, what is on your hands?
Hold on, I'm trying to get rid of that comment.
Go wash your hands.
What's wrong with my hands? These are working man's hands. Working man's hands.
What is that?
What do y'all, let's have a trivia question. What do y'all think that is? If these are working man's hands, what do y'all think is, look, I got the shakes. Look at my shakes this morning. What do y'all think's all over my hands?
Oh, I know what it is.
Jamie just wants to smell it. Someone says stain. Someone says, oh, here we go. The very first person. Hold on. Where's it at? Not goat blood. It's not poop. Hold on. I'm trying to find the first person who I saw said it right. There we go. I don't know exactly. Brown dough.
Round dough eyes.
Brown dough eyes.
Dough eyes. You know about doughs?
Like a deer?
Yeah.
Brown dough eyes.
Yeah.
Says that's lick. Guys, that is protein lick. Absolutely. I have already been, it's not clay, it's not paint. I've been up this morning and working with the horses, and I had to put the lead on Rita because here's what happened. I don't want to take away from your story, but I go inside the pasture, and I thought after about 2 or 3 days of doing the exact same routine, I can just walk in, leave the gate open, and they'll both follow me to the barn with the gate wide ass open, right? Well, I was wrong. I walk in, I offer their muffins with one hand, and I'm walking towards the new stable where all their feed and their hay is ready to be put out. And I don't even have to close the gate no more because they're going to stay right in. They're going to be right behind me. And I'm just dilly bopping along, watching my step because it's been kind of rainy, muddy. And all of a sudden I look behind me and there's no Rita, no Roman, and they've done run off across the yard for no reason. Because
the gate was open. That's the reason. The gate was open.
Well, to make a long story short, I went all the way over. I put out the grain. I shook it. Did my little horse whistle. I called. They both looked up and saw me, but they're not coming. They went inside the red barn.
Really?
Just hanging out in the red barn, looking at me, watching me. So I put out their hay. I'm still calling.
They love the red barn.
And at some point, I had to go ahead and grab me a rope halter and go put that rope halter around Rita's face. And everyone knows that whenever you working with your horses around the mouth area, they have a lot of that protein lick all over them. But yeah, I will go wash my hands. I'll be right back.
I don't like the smell of the protein lick. It's not terrible. It's just it's a very distinct smell, and it somewhat smells like, it smells mapley to me a little bit. I guess there's probably molasses in it, but it's a very distinct smell. So when the horses smell like it, or Lester's hands smell like it's notable. And thanks for washing your hands. Sometimes I think the muffins have a smell like that. Do you think that muffins have a protein lick smell?
I don't think so.
No?
I can't smell anything.
Oh, that's right. He's nose blind. For those of you asking about when do we get the fish, so I won that at a carnival. Well, I mean, Morrow Hill Christmas.
Morrow Hill family. It
Carnival and Morrow Hill Christmas, same thing.
Same thing.
I was making a joke.
Oh.
Anyway, that was Bruce, our beta fish. That was our white elephant gift that I got at Christmas. He does have an upgraded fish tank that I cleaned out yesterday because I'm having an algae problem.
Oh, that reminds me of a funny story. Go ahead,
boy.
tell your story first.
No, anyway, so I had to scrub everything in his fish tank with bleach and get all the algae off, and I still don't think that I still think that
Hand me that, please.
I've not fully eradicated it. So I'm going to be reading up on some things today. Stephanie offered me a shrimp. And I think I'm going to have a little bartering system with her to see if I can get something like that.
Funny story. So when we were little, everyone knows that we were very poor. We didn't have much money. My dad worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet. This is when we were kids, I would say probably we were not teenagers yet. And one thing that my mom always had, and I guess it's something that she's maybe because her mom had, I don't know, but my mom always had fish aquariums. But I don't mean a little corner sized fish aquarium. My mom had big aquariums. I mean bigger than what would fit in our house. My mom always loved to keep fish. And some of our trips that I remember as kids, we would go to Walmart to the pet department area, and each of us kids could pick out a fish. That's what we did.
Do you have too much?
I put too much. That's what I did. I put way too much. But we would go, and my mom would let us walk down through the department where they sold the fish. And I would, me and Daniel and Kim and Tina would all look at all the different kinds of fish, and we could all pick out one. And so at some point they'd call the worker back, and they have a little baggie, and they would like put some of their water, I guess it was the right temperature water, in the bag, and they would put our individual fish. So all 4 of us kids are walking around.
And then when you got, so we had
Walmart.
aquariums too. When you got home, you floated the bags for a few
You
hours,
had to float
right?
the bag to let it adjust. And we would all have little fish. That was what we had for pets. I can't remember. I think I told everybody about the little dog we had named Kinsey or Kizzy, who got the eyes put out. You ever heard that story?
I've not heard the story. I've only heard about the dog named Kizzy.
Yeah, the dog named Kizzy was one of the few dogs. I think it was called a Lhasa Apso or a Shih Tzu. I'm not real sure which one, but it was my mom's love. But no, we had little fish. But what you made me think about was my mom on occasion would ask me and Dan, my brother, to go catch her a little catfish. Now, I don't mean catfish. I mean the little tiny ones, like baby catfish. And we'd go down to the river, and you could walk along the bank and see those tiny ones, those little just born or just hatched. They come out of eggs, don't they? Catfish come out of eggs.
Yes.
So you'd see those freshly hatched catfish up along the bank, and we'd take our little seine, our little nets, and scoop 1 or 2 of them up, because mom used catfish to help clean her tanks. We could use snails. You could use catfish to help clean your tank. And then sometimes by mistake, we would grab those little tadpoles because they look a lot like catfish. They look a lot alike when they're babies. You don't believe me, do you?
I do believe you. The thing is, so we had fish tanks growing up too. It must have been an era, like water beds and fish tanks must have been like the thing because everybody had them.
Baby catfish, tadpole side by side.
And we had tetras and neons and we had Oscars at one point in time, angelfish.
Okay, they don't look that much alike, but sometimes we bring home the wrong thing. So one of those is a catfish, one is a tadpole. I think that you all can see the difference. But sometimes as kids, we bring home the wrong thing.
Because how could you know, right? So I get it. The thing about the beta fish is like they're pretty much lone fish. So everything you put in there, they'll kill. So you have to, there's like snails and shrimp are what you're basically limited to. And
hi, baby, I love you.
The tank is not in the sun. It has its own LED light. And I guess I could turn that off, but I can't imagine that the LED light is causing it. Anyway, Bruce is a part of our lives. I talk to Bruce every day. He comes and greets me at the feeding hole, and it's a lovely friendship that we, I turn on the coffee. I say good morning to Bruce. He's part of my day now. So it's good. It is funny that you would bring home that tiny catfish. I've actually never seen that tiny of a catfish before.
Well, they were the only way to get fish without having to go to Walmart and buy them. And we didn't have money for a lot of stuff like that. So I don't know why we bring home little catfish. But here's what I've heard. And you might disagree, you might agree, I don't know. But they say that animals, like in nature, will only grow to their environment, what their environment allows them to. So for example, if you had a small aquarium and you put a catfish in that thing, it's only going to grow. It's going to eventually turn the color of a catfish, the whiskers of a catfish. It's going to be a catfish, but it's only going to grow so big.
Really?
Yes. Now, you take that same catfish and you put it in a very large aquarium, it's going to grow larger to its environment. You had that same catfish off in the river or in the lake, it's going to grow to 10, 12, 15, 20 pounds. We've all seen those monster cats. I've caught some. And so, yeah, and animals in nature, they do grow and adapt to their, I'm going to say their environment. I don't know how that works.
That would be so scary to me to think that catfish would potentially grow big.
I cannot believe that someone actually agrees with me. Rose, if I had some kind of a prize, I would send it to you. I got nothing but working hands. And you don't want a used container of working hands.
Somebody said you forgot your neck earlier. That's why you had so much extra.
I forgot my neck. I also forgot my head. But I stopped doing that on live videos because people talk about me.
Really?
They make prude jokes. Which they don't bother me none. But we could turn this Saturday morning live into a Saturday night live real fast.
A lot of people had fish tanks. That's crazy. It was, I don't remember how big. I know that ours was like when you walked in the house, it took up the wall between the window and the door. And it was pretty dang big. It had a stand that my mom built for it because there were no other stands that would hold it. And over the years, we always had fish until I graduated high school. Like we had fish.
Look at
my brothers
that.
graduated high school.
100-pound catfish.
That would be insane.
Listen,
how do you even get that in a boat?
So no, you have to hand it. You can't pull it up on your line. That will break your line. So you could get it into a net if you have a big net, but most of the time, and I'm not making this up, when you get one so big and you have a fear that you may lose it, because even in a net, that little aluminum pole will bend. You can lose it. So what you have to do, so as you don't lose it, the only safe bet, and I bet people believe me, is you got to put your hand right through that gill. So you go ahead and put your hand right into his mouth, and you latch onto that gill. You know that
hard freaking no.
You know the little holes.
I'm not even taking a catfish off the hook, okay? Because it's little tentacle whiskery thingies like that, and the noise that it makes is not right for me. Okay, I can do a lot of things in life, but I'm not taking a catfish off my line. I'm not, and I'm certainly not shoving my arm all the way down its throat so we can eat it off. Because no,
you do know that there are people. I even saw the Arms family kid, Houston, go out there. They call that something where they
call it
noodling, where they actually get down in the mud and the muck, and they'll set things on purpose, barrels or 5-gallon buckets up inside, because they know that these catfish will go down in there and begin to, I don't think it's called den, but they'll lay up inside of these spots. And so you know where these things are all at, and you drop down in there and you put your hand inside there. You can't you can't see, but you're feeling around, and all of a sudden you feel that fish, and you put your hand right inside of his mouth, and you grab him like, let me show you how.
No.
You grab onto them and pull them right out, and people do that.
Hard no.
Yeah,
actually.
I'd be too afraid to be a gator laid up in that hole.
So growing up, my grandfather...
Hillbilly hand fishing is what they call it.
Wow. My grandfather was a fisherman. My brothers are fishermen. My dad's a fisherman. But we fished for bass and white bass and crappie. And then even on my mom's side, we would fish for bluegill. My grandma loved catfish and loved to fish and eat catfish. But I can't bring myself to take those off the hook. Like, I just can't. I also can't put a real worm on one because I will use rubber worms. I will use corn. I will use any kind of bait. I will use minnows and fish for my own, all that. But I can't take a catfish off, and I can't put a worm on it. So I guess rules out fishermen for my life.
So I just use pliers. I have needle nose pliers that I use to pull the hook out of the mouth. Is that what you're talking about?
I can't stick my hand on the mouth because number one, it makes noise.
They
Number two,
they gurgle. They do a
number
gurgle.
two, their little thingy majiggers
Their
come up
fins.
and not their fins, their whisker thingies
Whiskers, yeah.
will touch you. So even I've seen you before grab the belly and do the pliers, but they're little no.
So, and they do leave slime everywhere. They are so slimy. If you put one on the bottom of your boat, we don't have a boat anymore, but if you put one on the bottom of your boat, you better watch your step because you will slip and slide all over the place.
Well, they're bottom feeders, right? So,
and because of that, a lot of people will not eat catfish because they see them as being like, oh, they're disgusting. They're gross, whatever. But no, our family has always catfished.
Catfishing is a big thing where I'm from. In fact, Xander's baseball team was called the Mudcats.
Oh, Mudcats. Okay.
Yeah. So
there's Appaloosa, there's Mudcat, there's Channel Cat.
Yeah, there are Channel Cat.
I kind of think about like catfish a whole lot like that guy Bubba in Forrest Gump, leaned up with Forrest. And remember they're sitting there in Vietnam?
Yeah.
They're in Vietnam. There's boiled shrimp.
Garlic shrimp, scampi.
And they're sitting there naming all the different kinds of shrimp. And catfish, there's a lot of different kinds of catfish too. And you know what else is a lot of? Different descriptions of snow. This morning you walked outside and you said it was sleeting.
Yeah, that's not snow. It's sleet.
That's a form of snow.
It's not a form of snow.
Okay, never mind.
Sleet is sleet. What do you mean it's a form of snow?
I thought that sleet was like a icy, slushy form of snow. Because if it were warmer, or I'm sorry, colder, then that same sleet would turn more into snow. Not just an icy, it doesn't matter.
I don't think so.
There's blue catfish. There's
sleet is rain and snow mix, apparently.
Okay, sleet is freezing rain, someone else says. Guys, I don't know. I do know that the Eskimo, the Inuit Indians, is that what they're called? Inuit?
Okay.
I don't know the exact, I don't know how to pronounce that, but Eskimos is what we've always called those Native Americans from up there, the indigenous people from up there. But they have hundreds of ways to describe the different snow. Oh, yes.
I didn't know
that. Yes. And we only have snow.
Frozen mist is so okay. I always knew that there was freezing rain, sleet, and snow. I didn't know, like, people were correcting me and saying like they're all a variety of the same thing. So you were actually right.
What? I was right. Did you hear that, Stella? Daddy was right one time, baby. Daddy was right, sweetie. This morning I'm driving back from the property. I had my computer in the front seat. Along with, I had some dirty clothes. We don't have a washer and dryer over there, so I normally will bring home my dirty clothes. And so I always put the computer in the seat, the front seat, passenger, dirty clothes on top. And then the dogs always get in the back. It's not a big deal. It happens all the time. It's what we do almost daily. Today, for some reason, as I'm sitting there driving, and all of a sudden, I feel someone come up beside me, and Stella climbs from the back to the console. And I'm like, what are you doing, Stella? What's Stella doing? She doesn't do that. And then all of a sudden, she jumps down into the passenger seat, and she's trying to, she's making circles where she's trying to get comfy. And I'm like, Stella. And so I'm driving at whatever miles an hour I'm driving. I'm trying to get clothes and get things out of the way. And then she starts whining like, ow, that hurts. Ow, because you know how everything hurts on Stella. Everything hurts on Stella. She's like me. Everything hurts.
Are you kidding me right now?
No. Stella walked to the door to ask to go out. Jamie walks over, opens the door. Stella goes out. Jamie walks back and sits down. And now Stella's scratching to come back in. She wants her friends to go out with her, and Christmas is not going. Christmas is like, it's too cold. If you guys don't know about Christmas, she is quite the diva. And if it's cold, it doesn't matter how much she loves helping us do chores. She only helps doing chores on pretty weather days. Is that true? Christmas
She got
will.
outside today, and because it's cold, I closed the door behind me. Sometimes we'll leave it open. I know you know how horrible we are. Anyway, she comes out behind me and she gets on the side by side, and I'm not doing chores fast enough. So she's like coming to get me and hurry up, because she wants to go back inside because it's so cold, and I've kind of locked her out. So instead of riding the side by side with me today, she came and laid in front of the door and waited for me to get done with chores because I couldn't do them fast enough for her because she was cold.
Funny comment said, Jamie, in case you're interested, someone Googled how's the best way to get rid of algae.
Oh.
You want to know the answer?
Clean it.
2 words. Change the water.
I did that. And for people freaking out because I use bleach on this stuff, I rinsed it 20 times. I soaked it. And don't worry. I followed rules. But I did change the water and it looks much better.
Oh my gosh. I guess I'll try this time. I'm not gonna make you get up again. You want more coffee yet?
Yeah. Stella.
I'll do that all at the same time. Stella, they ain't going out there with you. Go TT on your own.
Stella she's wanting to go outside and do the chores because she missed them here this morning and she knows that it's morning time. So what are you doing?
There's some lady who says she's watching my reflection in the TV. So I want to make sure that I'll give her a nice show. Someone said that. They're watching my reflection in the TV.
They can't even see, but like the light.
Slide over one chair and watch.
Oh, you can see the door, not you right now.
Okay, well, I'm about to walk over there to that door. And I'm going to do it with class and style. Come on, Stella. Come on back in. Is that better?
That was beautiful.
Did I look like the Price is Right, where one of the contestants is shown the prize?
More like Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune. That was more Vanna White-ish.
Coming back.
You know about Wheel of
Can
Fortune?
you see me now?
Yep, we can see you.
Chest out.
We can't see that.
Shoulders high. Gut sucked in. Head tilted down. Coffee cups mixing. Have y'all seen these?
Only yours is working, and I'm okay with that.
Press yours again.
Nope.
Sometimes you that so one.
Oh! There it goes.
These
It's
are
the
the
slurp for me
coolest-
that is the weirdest.
These are the coolest cups of all time. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can drink it like this. I just put my tongue in it, begin to go up into my mouth. Okay, back to normal. Back to normal. Let's just get back to normal. I put my tongue right there in the center, like in the vortex. That's the vortex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of
What-
curved
what
my,
are you-
I curved my tongue. Can you curve your tongue? Not quite so much.
Like I can't
I
I
curved-
can't control the curve of my
I curved
tongue.
it just enough to where I could catch.
Curve your tongue as much as possible.
That's just going to be weird.
Let me see it. Okay.
See, people screenshot stuff like that. This is the problem. If you ever try to talk to someone about something serious, and this is a very serious conversation, people are screenshotting that stuff. And then they'll wait to the most inopportune times to send you those emails. And there's probably like fake channels out there. You already know there's fake channels of us that are not even ours.
Yeah.
And they're like, today, join me on a funny face contest. And they have a screenshot of one of us doing something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, you can't.
It's good. Somebody's gonna put it on a cup. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna put our faces like that on coffee cups.
I love this over here. I got to find it. Where did it go?
Do you know that some people can't curl their tongue like that? My dad can't curl his tongue like that.
Put your ears pretty, Lester. Every time I get upset about something, now people are saying, "But put your ears pretty. Make your ears pretty.
Equivalent to squeezing your leg. I like it.
Make your ears pretty." I know. Well, so plans for today. I have to drive to Conroe. Jamie's welcome to go with me if she wants to. Was there anything that you had to do today?
I wanna do a pasture cleanup if we can, if it I get
It's,
between the rain.
I will say no to that because it is a sloppy 2 days. If you've looked at Livingston weather forecast, we got 2 days of miserable nastiness.
I just had all these hopes about pasture cleanup and getting things done, and it's just cold and wet, and I don't know if it's going to be able to happen. So I guess I'm going to Conroe.
It'll be more fun.
Are we getting hay in Conroe?
I don't know if we're getting anything. I have to go look at something.
Oh.
I'm just going to go look at something.
Well, you know, there's some places on the way that I wouldn't be sad about stopping.
Oh, there's a lot of flea markets on the way. Is that what you're talking about?
Too. No, actually, it's too cold and nasty for that. No, there's a hatchery on the way.
A hatchery? Like, where they hatch what?
What hatches, Lester?
Chickens.
Yeah. They also have everything feathery.
Tractor Supply, the lady there is friends with Jamie, one of the ladies who worked there. And so Jamie was working, and all of a sudden she begins to get into this panic, this panicky, you know, when you know your partner, you know when there's something going on. And she come out of that office, the door slammed open. She's moving around the house at a really, you know, a faster pace than normal. And so I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And she goes, Crystal called me from Tractor Supply. They got chicks in. They got chicks in.
But not just any chicks. The chicks that I wanted.
They got bantams. There's bantams. And I'm like, we don't have a place for them. We can put them in my office.
I will make room.
And I'm like, you're gonna put chicks in your office, and you have to do Zoom calls throughout the day, and yet you're gonna have chicks in your office. She runs everyone else out of there. She runs the dogs out, the cats are out. She closes her door, and she's gonna somehow leave chicks in her office.
It won't work. Lester's right. They would be a distraction. They would be loud.
We have a work in progress, and we're going to wait till the spring, and there'll be more chicks that'll show up. I promise.
The thing is that Tractor Supply, they didn't get 1,000 bantams in. They got 1,000 chicks in of different variety, and they were sold out in an hour.
Well, people are about tired of paying $9 for a dozen eggs.
People are scared. So they're buying chickens like crazy and raising them themselves. And I get it. I really do. I just wanted a few special ones, as like my eggs are in the incubator now for 6 days. And we're going to do some candling this weekend to see what's what. But it's hard to get chicks. And there's a hatchery that's on the way to Conroe, and I wouldn't be sad. I'm not going to go crazy. Like, don't think that. I would love to find a few little bantams or little chickens. They're like, you know,
what I was just thinking about would be so funny. So we have a back way to get over to Miss Pat and Mr. David's place. I wonder if this would be funny for them. It'd be funny for me. If you sent me over every day, like at a certain time, to sneak in there and take their eggs.
No.
I wouldn't actually eat them, but let's just see like how, because they have cameras. If y'all think that we have a lot of cameras, Mr. David, he's like this camera freak. He's like a camera freak. He has cameras everywhere. And I says, Jamie, I wonder what Miss Pat's up to. Miss Pat must have put him through HELL back in her younger days, because Miss Pat is the sweetest lady, but she's probably in her 70s. Am I probably right?
Yeah. So
Miss Pat's in her 70s, but Mr. David has more cameras on that property.
I think it's because that's horrible. I don't think that. I think it's.
I do.
I don't. I think it's because he works far away and worries about her, because she's a very active woman. She's always outside doing stuff, and there's not great cell phone reception here, as you all know. And I don't know that they actually have internet service at their house. So like, I mean, I guess they would if they had cameras, but I think that he worries about her, and I think it's really sweet.
I just think it would be funny. And so I'm just playing with Mr. David. He does have a very nice camera setup.
A beautiful setup.
He has tried to sell us some of his cameras, but we have a pretty good camera system that we have that on Wulty. Those work really good for us, and we're happy with those. They give us great stuff. But no, Mr. David has just like a state-of-the-art camera setup where he has every angle covered. They see every predator that comes on their property. They know what direction they come from. I just think it'd be funny if I like creep over there and sneak into their chicken coop and take a few of their eggs.
That would be so mean.
I know it'd be mean, but it'd be kind of funny because when Miss Pat goes out to gather them, and she's like, wait, we normally have, let's just say 6 eggs. Today we only have 3. So Miss Pat's going to assume that someone's not laying. Then the next day I go over there again. I sneak in there and take a few more eggs. And I keep doing that until Mr. David or Miss Pat, one of them finally sends us a message and says, hey, you got our eggs. Hey, we know it's you. We're watching you come through our gate or something. That would be funny. You don't think so? It'd make great pea patting videos. You could pea pat me stealing eggs from Miss Pat.
You're like the weasel next door.
I'm getting really bad about taking things that are not mine. And I'll tell you what I mean. I haven't had creamer at the other property for quite a while. And I did stop to buy some powdered creamer, but it tastes nothing like the kind that we use.
I told you that. You
did tell me that. So I just go to the gas station down the road, the little bodega, they call it. I go to the bodega, a little convenience store, and I walk by and I'm thinking, okay, there's all those creamers that are sitting there they're free. And I wonder if they're going to miss 3 or 4 of them. I wonder if they're really going to miss 3 or 4 of them.
You know that you drive by 2 Dollar Generals, 2 grocery stores, and a Walmart.
I always forget until the morning that I wake up and I have no creamer.
So now you're a creamer klepto, is what you're saying.
I have become a creamer klepto. Yes, I'm embarrassed to admit that. But yeah, I need to actually do a Walmart order, I guess. I do not want to go to jail for that. I don't think I could. I don't think they'd send someone to jail for that. 3 or 4 those little tiny little creamers at a time. But yeah, I should probably stop doing it. That's not a good example for the kids, Jamie.
No, it's a horrible example. Mister, I'm going to steal some eggs. I'm going to steal some creamers. If Lester gets caught with creamer and eggs in his pocket or some ridiculousness.
Well, the dumb thing is I actually go in there to buy stuff. So I buy actual stuff, but they don't sell that kind of creamer. They only sell the powdered creamer, and I don't want the powdered creamer. So I just walk by the coffee thing and grab me a couple of those.
Do not send him creamer. Make him stop.
No, do not send me creamer.
And go to a store.
I will go. I will go. It's not that hard. I just have to remember to do it. That'd be horrible to go to jail for eggs and creamer.
That would be horrible to go to jail for eggs and creamer. What are you in for, sir? Well,
I would not tell them the truth. I'd have to make up something really hardcore because I want them to be scared of me.
But can you imagine?
Look, with this baby face, you don't want to see me locked up, okay? You do not want to see this baby face locked up. I'll have to find me something really, really hardcore to say that I'm in for, not taking eggs and creamer. I would not last long, Jamie.
What are you in for? I like eggs.
And then they've probably seen that they've already seen the screenshots. I'm in big trouble. I'm in so much trouble if I ever go to jail. I am in so much trouble. Oh, Lordy. I need to stop making those kind of faces and keep my tongue in my mouth.
Yeah.
Because those guys. Woo.
Yep. Top bunk would be really good on your back, Lester.
Anywho's, well, we got a big week coming up. Chuck gets his procedure done this week. The 26th is the day we load him up early and drive him over. they will not do his procedure until the 27th because they're going to guarantee that he does a little fasting. He has to do a little fasting.
Chuck's going to be mad by that
Oh,
time.
Chuck's going to be so mad at those folks over there. And then they will, we're not certain if they'll let him come back home on the 28th, maybe the 29th at the latest, depending on how he recovers and how he gets it going.
And what time they do the surgery also matters. So that's kind of all part of it. And what time they do the surgery depends on what other emergencies have come in and what time we get there and truly where they can document his fasting and all of the things that go into it, basically.
Yeah. So
he's also going to get verified for his vaccinations and all kinds of stuff like that. You knew about that, right? I know he's up to date because he just crossed over, but they'll draw titers to make sure that he had that he's clear, basically.
Yeah. So we'll make sure that we record as much as we can. I'm going to also make sure that I let Jeff have plenty of video for his channel. So more than likely, I'll let Jeff have all the good stuff, and that'll be fine. Well, I still feel very indebted to Jeff and Justin for Chuck. He's just been such a great addition to our farm. I don't think that you know this yet, but a lot of folks who watch the channel do. Do you know, would you happen to know who Chuck's best friend is? He has a buddy over there who he hangs out with all the time. And they really have become really, really good buddies, chums, friends.
Jolene, right?
No. Why would you say Jolene?
I saw a video of him laying down with Jolene the other night.
Okay, but that was a one-night thing.
Oh.
That's not his buddy.
Oh. Well, Prince Willie Joe is typically with him whenever I've seen him.
Yes. Okay, so Prince Willie Joe is absolutely his buddy. And these two have chummed up for a while. Everywhere Chuck goes, there's Prince Willie Joe. And they're like best buds. They're like, problem is we've all discovered something. We feel like Chuck has been using Prince Willie Joe to get close to his mom.
Hence the one night thing.
And so we do feel like it finally happened because one night I noticed that Chuck...
What do you mean it finally happened?
No, well, no. Nothing like that happened.
Oh.
But what I noticed is one night while all the other cows were out to pasture, here comes Jolene making her way up towards the hay barn. And right on her tail is Chuck. And they go to the hay barn and they lay down together and they're just sitting there chewing their cuds.
Jolene,
watching each other.
Jolene, I'm begging of you, please don't get
What is a cud?
Cud is the regurgitated food.
Well, they're both sitting there chewing their cuds, staring into each other's eyes. And I'm like, oh no. And then I felt so bad for Prince Willie Joe.
Because he thought that he was like chummy and
he's like I don't know a really good analogy, but I kind of picture it like a soccer kid and Chuck is the coach. And the coach is like, man, you're really good. You're a great player. You're one of our stars or whatever. But, hey, is that your mom over there? Man, you're a heck of a shot, man. Hey, man, your son here, he's really, and all the whole time, that coach may or may not really think this kid's such a star, but what he's trying to do is butter up that mom over there. And I feel like Chuck has buttered up Jolene by using Prince Willie Joe. And that bothers me to no end.
God.
You don't think that can happen?
The cow drama is something else.
Cow drama is real, y'all. Cow drama is real. And here's the thing. There's not a person who watches the channel who doesn't realize that, you know what? There might be some truth to that. Because you've all seen at least 15, 20 times the budding friendship between Prince Willie Joe and Chucky. We've all thought it was the most adorable thing ever.
Somebody said, do you know this because you were a coach, Lester?
I think every woman, and I said this last night, every woman who's taken her kids to soccer practice or tennis practice or basketball practice or football practice or any sport practice has had seen those kinds of coaches. So anyway, look at all the yeses, Jamie. Look at all the yeses. Margaret says yes with a bunch of exclamation points. Margaret knows. Oh, Barbara says, no, that's wrong. Barbara, you've had the wrong coaches, and you must have the old men coaches.
Xander never had any coaches like that ever.
There's a lot more yeses, and that's true.
Xander's coach was also my high school teacher. So Xander's coach and I had kids that were the same age, and that was Xander's little league coach all the way through grade school. So
Guys,
no, I didn't have that scenario at all.
I think it's funny. Not everybody had those experiences, but there's a number of ladies on here who have run across those kinds of coaches who try to ease their way in by using the athlete.
Men. That's just what I'm going to say is men.
I'm just shocked at how many yeses there are coming across the screen. There's a few that's never happened to me. But here's the thing. If you go to practice with your husband, it's a whole lot less likely the coaches are going to be making those kind of moves on you. If you go to practice and drop the kids off and you wait there on the sideline and you have your kid's water bottle or their sports bottle, and every time they get a break, you walk over and, rub your kid on his back and give him a sports drink, you're going to find yourself a whole lot more likely to start drawing attention from those coaches because they're like hawks, sharks. They can pick out the single moms or the moms that are there alone without a partner. And yeah,
I don't know. I'm from a small town, so the coach, like I said,
you said your coach was 80 years old.
I said he was the high school teacher, so he was much older than me. He was my high school teacher. So the other part is like where we're from, like, so his wife was also part of the whole thing. Like I don't know. It's very different here. You show up to a sporting event here, like when we watched LE and even Lex, like there's so many, it's so big that there's so many things going on. It's just dynamically different. I was telling Lester that where I'm from, people in the town go to watch the Little League games, even if they don't have kids playing in the Little League games, because it's entertainment in the town. I mean, there's a town of like 1,000 people, 600 people. And in the summertime, there's always a couple of baseball or softball games going on. So everybody goes to watch those games and just, it's something to do. It's social hour. The concessions are open. You drink a few beers, maybe you eat some popcorn. Like you bring your lawn chairs. There's no fancy stands. It's nothing like that. It's hometown, very small. So my experiences in the coaching Little League space is dynamically different than Jolene and Chuck's coaching space.
Hey, listen, another example. How many of you moms have taken your kids to open house? You know what open house is?
I do not
at school. So we call it open house. Open house is an evening when you go to visit your child's teachers, and you go from class to class to class to visit with those teachers and find out how your kid's doing. And do not even tell me that when you walk to those classes, when you had those men teachers, that they weren't showing a little bit of favoritism to some moms more than others.
We have dynamically different lives and teachers. What do we do?
PTA, whatever y'all call it. Oh, Lordy, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. But, well, we got Chuck this week. Jeff and Chuck. Who's going to be the bigger headache? Who will be the bigger headache?
I'm going to a conference. So I have a conference for work. And
Jamie's out of town for 2 days, so that's going to leave me alone with Jeff and Chuck.
I'm speaking at a conference, so I will not be here for all of that. I will be here for the A&M part of it.
All I know is last night on my live, someone says that Jeff got himself a tutu. And I said, in a very serious look, I says, guys, tell Jeff, do not come down here in that tutu because he's not riding with me. I'm not going to drive that man around if he's in fact wearing a tutu and that umbrella hat that he got. I don't know exactly where this is going.
Oh my God. If he wears moon boots and the tutu.
And that moon boots and the tutu and that umbrella hat.
You'll be able to like probably pass him off as like I can't say it.
What?
I'm not allowed to say it. I can't say it.
Hold on. You have to say
I'm
it.
not allowed to say
If
it.
he wears moon boots, a tutu, and
I
the
can't
umbrella
say it.
hat, I can pass him off as what?
I can't say it. I can't say it.
You have to say it now.
Somebody else said it.
Where? Where? Where they put special? Or circus clown? Or both? Or a coach?
I hope he wears pearls too.
Y'all are being mean to that poor Jeff. We love Jeff. And is Jeff on here today, I wonder?
Probably not. He's
Probably not.
Probably doing family things. I hope he's doing family things because he's about to leave his family to come spend time with you.
Well, he better leave that tutu at home. We ain't going to go there.
Ace Ventura. Thank you. That's what I meant the whole time is Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. There you go.
Special detective. Pet detective.
You guys are funny. No, I'm excited about that. It'd be nice to see Jeff again. And I know he's excited about having Chuck taken care of, and he will help me be able to load Chuck and do all of those things. So that's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a busy week, though. Without having Jamie here, that means we got both properties to maintain.
The good part
Lots
is
of
you
chores.
shouldn't have blankets to deal with. So
No, it's going to be beautiful weather, sunny weather. We need the sun.
we
Dry
need
some
the
things
sun.
out. And but no, we're looking at 100 animals, and when we divide
Where's the
up,
dang thing? Dang it!
what are you looking for?
Hold on. It was the best comment. Hold on.
I'm almost scared to see. This from the man that took a mannequin to lunch. Vicky,
Hey, maybe you should bring Eugene along.
maybe I will. Then who's going to be the weirdo?
That's what I mean.
The
Like
problem is if
full
I'm
on circus it up, then
Okay.
no one can know.
if I'm like the normal guy having lunch with a mannequin and a guy in an umbrella hat with a tutu and moon boots, I think that's even worse for me.
Bring him to eat gumbo like that.
I did. Oh my god. That would be so stupid.
Please do it. I
Okay.
double dog dare you.
Take Eugene with us to lunch.
Bring his legs too.
No. I can't carry his leg. That means he has to stand at the table and stand along.
Yes, that's what I mean.
If at least it's just his torso, he can sit in the chair beside me. That's right. Why did I do that?
I don't.
Tell me why I took Eugene
You
to
said-
eat with
you
me.
I couldn't go with you. You didn't want to go alone.
Jamie refuses to go to Poncho's. Okay. Poncho's is a Mexican buffet.
It's not that I refuse. I
Yes.
was busy.
Uh-huh. Jamie doesn't eat there because it makes her sick, and that's fine. Not everybody's tummy is built the same, and there's things that I can eat and enjoy that Jamie cannot. And the same as you all, I see sometimes how y'all get grossed out of what I cook for myself for lunch. But no, I wanted to go to Poncho's. My body was craving it. I've been wanting it for a while, and Jamie wouldn't go. So I'm like, you know what, Eugene, it's you and me. So I took Eugene. We got lots of weird stares as we walked down the buffet line. Me holding Eugene.
Which is why he needs legs.
Well, but if he has legs, he will not fit in the chair. He has to stand at the table,
No.
just standing there, and that's a whole lot more awkward.
He could put his legs right next to it.
And
Because they're hard to get back on, and I can just imagine you like trying to casually like remove them, and the one's like sticking straight out like this. Like it is not easy to navigate. I just realized how filthy my jacket is.
Hey,
right
here's
now
the
from
thing.
hay.
So I wonder if if you could embarrass Jeff. You think? Because I think that we can. I think we can embarrass
That's why
Jeff.
I'm saying Eugene must be involved.
So
here.
things don't embarrass me. I've come to the point in life where it may be a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm at a point in life where things don't really embarrass me as much anymore.
Jeff, somebody says Jeff will carry the legs.
And then can you imagine
Oh my
both
God.
me
Put
and
Jay's face on Eugene. That would be even funnier. Sorry you can't
so,
be here.
Sorry you can't be here, Justin, but we got you. You're here in spirit.
Here in
okay?
spirit, please. Maybe put the tutu on Eugene then.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the little umbrella hat.
Oh, this is getting
But-
better.
My only fear is, I mean, I kind of do care what people think about me, And what are they going to think about me? What are they going to think about me? Like, what kind of weird things are going to cross their mind about what kind of guy I am behind closed doors? I mean, if I'm going to take a man in a tutu, moon boots, and a rainbow hat to eat, along with a mannequin who's sitting there with a camouflage pair of shorts and a Longhorn Leicester shirt and a fireman's hat or a cowboy hat, whichever hat I choose to put on him. And I'm sitting there having lunch with these two.
Eugene's in the front seat and Jeff's in the back.
Listen, they're not thinking about what kind of a weirdo that Jeff is, and they don't give a darn what kind of a weirdo that mannequin is. I'm the weirdo. That puts me as the weirdo. You do know that, right? Jeff is the poor guy who wears the umbrella hat and the tutu and moon boots. He's like he's like doing it because I'm making him do it. I'm the weirdo here.
Please do it. Please do it on Tuesday before I get home so I don't have to participate.
Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. Y'all tell Jeff to bring the tutu.
I need a picture of Justin so I can go get it printed. I'll ask Lauren.
Lord, I cannot believe this. Okay, it is that time of the live where we get to answer some questions. And so it's been a really fun live. Thank y'all for making it so entertaining for us and being a part of our morning coffee. Both cups. I'm almost ready for my third.
Me too.
But
we'll small. Believe it or not, they are small cups. So like they don't like this much of the bottom is
all right. What do we got for questions? And just ignore that ring light. I'm gonna just go ahead and turn the ring light off for now, Jamie.
We look
Poncho,
like we're dying now.
Huh?
We look like we're dead now.
We look like we're dead now. Please wear your Cog Hill Shirt Farm shirt. No. I will wear the Arms Family Homestead shirt. Absolutely. It's going to be all Arms Family. And I'll wear my Daniel Arms hat. Yes. How's the chicken coop going? It's a work in progress. The rain's not going to help at all. So we have 2 days of not being able to paint or do anything because of the rain. I'm not working in cold and rain. Everyone knows that Jamie and I agree on one thing. Well, actually, we don't. Jamie does not like the cold. I enjoy the cold if it's sunny outside. I like sunny cold. Jamie hates cold, period.
Yeah, I will find things to do inside. I will still take care of all my outside things, but I'm not doing extra things when it's cold. Sorry.
Yes. So now chicken coop is come to a screeching halt. Are you helping me find comments? They're going by so fast.
Yes, a lot of people are asking about Barnadette.
Okay. Barnadette has not had her babies yet. I walked out this morning and fed her and gave her wet food, sang her Meow Mix song. And she's also not going inside of the new house that someone gifted her. So we have a real sweet little setup for her in that little bit of a house, and she's not going inside of it.
She might whenever she decides to nest.
Are the cows still coughing? No. Lou, thanks for asking that question. I've been watching them like a hawk, and I've not heard anyone else cough since that one particular day. I think that it might have been that she had a throat dry from maybe eating. I don't know exactly, but we did hear her cough several times. I have not heard her cough since.
Did you hang your bull hook yet? I don't know what your bull
Has
hook
Roman gone into the new stable by himself? Yes. Roman has no fear of the stables. He's doing wonderful. I think he really likes it. And even Jamie saw him walk down the entire way, walked in one door and walked out the other. So that's wonderful.
Did you hang your bull hook yet?
My bull hook.
I don't know what they're talking about.
The bull horns. I have to repair those bull horns. And that's going to require Jamie's help. Those bull horns came. They had gotten broken. The lady had put Fragile all over the box.
Aww.
I opened them up, but one horn had broke it off. It's a pretty clean break, which is good.
Oh, I got some E6000 or whatever the stuff is called.
How has Bucky's been since Vu's gone?
Good, actually. And if you saw him a few weeks ago, you saw he had some scarring around his face. I have realized that was he and Voodoo. He was poking at Voodoo and trying to egg him on, and Voodoo had enough. And those are all healed as well.
A lot of people call Chuck a carrot top, and yes, he does have the same a hair color as Rome does, which is really cute. Has Jamie seen the barn all together yet?
Yeah.
Yes. Jamie has been a part of that. She's gone over several days. Made a video one day, I believe.
I did. It was not, that was when it was not completely done. But I was there. The video that posted yesterday.
Hey, where's your phone at?
It's on my charger.
This will be fun. This will be fun before we leave, before y'all all leave out on us. I'm going to show you what I think is my favorite barn stall idea. And you pull up yours and show them which is your favorite. And listen, I have no idea what hers is yet. But what I do know is that she and I have both been looking at barn stall ideas, okay?
Like the dream version or the practical version?
Practical, not dream. Guys, and then Jamie, please explain the difference in what you mean by that. I don't think people know.
Dream version is astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
More expensive than we could ever afford, and elaborate. Like people put flooring in there that it is special made for horse barns that are like $1 million horses.
Okay, so a couple of things. I showed this picture last night on my live, but I do know we're coming today from Facebook as well. So Facebook this is the first idea of how the outside of the barn is going to look. Jamie and I went by yesterday and we ordered the signs. They're going to be 4x8, right?
Mm-hmm.
In size. We have the Voodoo Lounge on one side and Dixie Dance Hall on the other. We also are having Uriel weld together the Survivor Stables sign that will go on top. So that's how the outside of the stables are going to look. Okay, that's and now I want to show you how we have different ideas. Now, I want to remind you that it's going to be a while, and I mean a long while. Do not expect anything anytime soon on the stables.
I don't know what's my favorite. I have.
So I'll go ahead and show mine then.
Okay.
All right. So I think that this is going to be the most practical. And this over here will also kind of give us a good idea. It sort of matches our barn. Now, I can't say for sure how you guys feel about it, but it shows that they have a little feed bin that you can actually walk by and drop their grain from without having to ever go inside. There's also a water trough on the back corner. And I think that this might be, and of course, don't forget, this is only 10 foot by 12. Ours are going to be 15 by 12. So what you cannot see in this picture, and we would have on ours, is the gate that goes into it. And so the gate would hopefully swivel either open in or open out. We're not doing sliding gates, but I think that this is probably something that's affordable. You have your wood that will separate. That will be, so 3 sides will be wood. So there's no risk of those horses ever accidentally kicking into metal, which could hurt themselves. You have a pretty large divider wall where the horses can't be biting at each other. And then the front side is low enough to where they can kind of put their heads over if they choose to, because horses like to look over. And so gates open out or gates open in. I kind of think that it'd be nice if the gates would open both ways, swivel either in or out based on what you're trying to do with your horse. We don't want to have them where the doors all block the 12-foot walkway in the center. So I don't really know, but because we have 15 foot, I do think that the doors being on the end would be a whole lot wiser than the doors being in the center. So this is an idea, not exactly, because our barn's not exactly like this, but I think this may be a really good idea and a model that I'm looking at. And now what you're going to see from Jamie is probably a whole lot fancier.
Well,
and
it's
that's
not.
normal.
I'm trying to be realistic. So I like the ones that I really love.
And so I'm going to go ahead and remind you again, because I can see a lot of the comments real fast. We're not doing a sliding door. Jamie and I both agree that the sliding doors at the Plum Grove barn,
they're very heavy and require a lot of maintenance.
They were always a problem. They were always coming off the track. And you may say, well, that's the poor,
No, here's the thing. when you're messing with horses, especially ones that aren't used to going in stalls, sometimes you either need to get in really fast or close it really fast. And there were many times where that was not possible, and it put ourselves or the horses at risk. So I don't feel comfortable moving forward with that heavy of a style again, basically.
And they have to be heavy. You can't really have a real flimsy door, but the barn sliding doors there in the stalls at the Plum Grove property, the track on the bottom would get mucky, it would get dirty, it would get hay, it would get dirt, and then the entire door wouldn't slide. And we would end up pulling the entire runner off the top. And then you have this door that just falls. And it was always a headache. As wonderful as those stalls are, they were quite the headache. You ready?
I'm ready. This is like not exactly what I want, but this is one that I have a picture of, and it's a little bit different. So this actually is just wood. I can't see my finger. This is just wood.
You got to put it really close.
But on the top is welded wire that's put, oh gosh. Welded wire that is, so this is all enclosed. And then in between there's welded wire. So they can both see, but there's nothing that they can do in between. And then this is also enclosed. The only place that they would be able to stick their head out is through a gate. I would prefer not to have a barred gate. I would like to have a screened gate or a total wood gate. And I'll show you a variety of this. And then this is like phase 2 long-term. Do you see the door that goes out the back? I would like to eventually put some turnout stalls on the south side of that barn. So that way we have some stalls that are all enclosed in the inside and some that have the capability of being inside plus outside. And I like the wood. I like it higher. I also like the fact that they're enclosed with the exception of right here. Now let me show you a different idea, because that's pretty much how I function. This door is just a wooden door, and it's a half door essentially. And I would not put ours touching like this, because then the horses can reach around and mess with each other. And because we have buckies who will do that, we need our doors to be all at one, like an aligned end. So selecting, if each place has 1, 2, 3 sections, all doors go in the first section, something like that. But I either want a wood door or a prefabbed gate that has, they make them that have the bar on top, and then the bottom is like 2x2 welded wire in there. Is that about right? What it is?
I have no idea.
The green gates that we use. I don't know. Those are my visions. Lester has his. I'm sure we'll come up something. Can I show him the fancy one?
Well, so here's the thing. So what I said, and this is not going to change. Do not expect stalls anytime soon. Do not expect stalls anytime soon. And it's nothing to do with anything more than the fact that these things require time and money. And we're going to work for a bit and accumulate and save, and then we will figure out stalls when it's time. Right now, it's not time.
There's another version, very similar. But again, I don't want my doors to touch, because our horses can then touch, and we're in a no-touch zone. But Lester's right.
So what we have to do as far as part of the management is, like, we have to decide what's most important in our priority list and go down the list. And as of right now, being the fact that we're getting close to spring and then summer, there's no way that we'll be bringing any of Jamie's horses over to the property anytime soon anyway. In the worst case scenario, drought. And if we have a drought, then we may have to move them over. But this is the best place for horses during the spring and summer, because they have the pond, they have the shade, and they have a barn here. They have a barn that we did enclose the north wall.
And they love that barn. They go in the barn, they have a loafing shed. Like, they're very content here. We just know that we're at the mercy of Mother Nature for grass, and we are, blessed in the ability to be able to shuffle if we need to.
So I think that let's just say that if everything cooperates, then we may use the JL Ranch North as our horse property during this fall and the winter, and that will guarantee our horses have places to come in to get out of heavy winds and heavy cold temperatures and whatnot. But what in saying so, we're not in a rush. So it would be foolish to take whatever little cash we have now and spend it and go into even more debt on stalls to just try to rush through this project.
And not be able to do what we want. So I want to save and do it the right way because it matters.
Yes.
It's a forever thing.
Yeah, this is forever.
And we're not in a hurry to do so because it's just Roman and Rita right there. They have an enclosure if they need to go in one.
And they do. They go in every morning, every afternoon, and throughout the day. It's fun watching how much they actually go in just to hang out.
Because don't forget, we have to put mats down. We have like
electricity. We need water.
Yes, there's so much to do, but the space is there and they're okay. They're okay. It's an upgrade from what they have had, and they have plenty to eat. They have plenty to drink. Like they're a good space. And right now, here is fine too.
And then for the folks who are concerned about the barn being too hot in the summer, guys, we already have our summer barn. We call it the Coliseum. It has misting station.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not concerned with our horses being trapped inside of a stall.
No, and we don't stall our horses all day or all night.
We're not that kind of a place. There are people that will stall their horse 23 hours a day and give them 1 hour of outside. We don't do that. Our horses are free to go to the tree line. They're free to walk along the pasture and graze. They will go inside the stable when we feed them or when we want them to for vet care for us to medicate.
Smart. Believe it or not.
Yes.
They're pretty dang smart, and they'll go where they feel most comfortable. And in a way, it allows us also to watch their demeanors as they enter and hang out in there, and for us to strategize around that, because we can build something and realize later, like, oh, this was a mistake, this isn't going to work, that type of thing. This time slot that we have allows us to really be thoughtful. And for people that are saying it's not forever, you'll have to replace them. I know that sometimes you have to replace boards. I know that, but there are forever, because hopefully in our lifetime, we don't have to do all of those things. I'm going to sneeze.
Okay. This will be the last question that we'll talk about, because Jamie and I might also sometimes disagree on timing. I say that we move the donkeys as soon as possible, and it's only because we know that they're eating on our trees. Jamie has a different idea. Go ahead.
I would like to potentially put them over to the other side of the pasture once we get Carl moved up, and be able to open up the other loafing shed area and just see if the boredom stops, because I think they're bored. They get every mineral, vitamin, everything. I think it's boredom out there, and
maybe nervousness. Yeah,
and nervousness. And I just want to do a pasture flop and see what happens. But it's been cold and nasty, and I need to be able to get in there to blanket and do all the things. So we have, as soon as the weather gets nice, hopefully after this Chuck event, then we have a lot of thoughts to do, and it may not work out. They may still come over here and eat more bark, and it may just be their weirdness that they have. But we'll see. Hey, Hank.
Do you have to do that?
He literally just shook his foot out over the computer.
Hank.
Everybody can see the butthole.
I'm still here. Still here.
Hi, Hanky.
Thank you, Hank.
He's purring.
Monica says, I'm excited for y'all. I've been following for a long time, and I can't wait to see everything's finished. Take care and God bless. Thank you, Miss Monica. I appreciate that. Now, we'll play it by ear. Google said two things: that it could be something that they lack in their dietary needs or boredom. And we both think it's boredom, because they have their mineral blocks, they have their salt blocks, they have their grains that they're eating, they have their green hay, which is fortified with all kinds of stuff. Those donkeys really do have it made. I just don't know why and I also think it might be a habit. I think that Dinky Darrell may have survived a long time.
That's exactly what I think, because we never had this issue.
Well, we sort of did have this issue back at the sanctuary in Plum Grove with one tree they would sometimes bite on.
You're right.
But with one tree, I went out and I wrapped it with a chicken wire, and it stopped it, and the tree's still there today. So they have sometimes done it even, but then again, at that point, we were not feeding green hay. We weren't always offering the same stuff, but we buy a special formulated equine food, which you would think that in itself would have all the stuff that they need to have a healthy diet with. We also make sure we offer the green hay, which is alfalfa, which is wonderful for them. What's wrong? So we're just going to hope that it's a boredom kind of a thing. And then when we move them over, they have the goats to hang out with, the pigs, the alpaca, and that maybe will stop. But we have the trailer, we have the ability to move them over on any given day. So, and now we have plenty of room for them to go if they choose to. I will address one thing. Guys, you don't have to be concerned about Rita chasing the donkeys. Rita will more than likely exert the fact that she's over them. And that's going to be the same thing Rita does to everybody and everything. Rita has taught everybody that she's over them. And once she's established that, then it's over. Don't forget that Rita has spent 2 years of her life with the donkeys. And we never saw her back in those days chasing the donkeys, harassing the donkeys.
No, it would happen when she first got in the pasture with them. And then the same way it does with every horse. So like,
yes,
you have to think about this. Like they'll establish who's who and what's what, but there's 15 acres in that pasture and no choke spots. So it'll be okay.
Yeah. So all she'll do is if we ever take them over the day that we drop them off, she'll chase them around. They'll all run. And then it's over. And at that point, she may sometimes put her ears back whenever she's saying, don't you get too close. But that happens
more around the food time is like, but
that's very normal every day.
Ivy does it here.
Yeah. Rita puts her ears back to Roman 20 times a day.
Yeah.
Or with the gladiator, she'll do. Rita's going to do that, y'all. And that's okay. That's what horses do. Yeah. But we have no concern of her chasing the donkeys to where she's going to hurt them or anything like that. So
she loves Stinky Daryl.
Yes. And then last thing, Ivy will never go. Ivy is, in fact, a horse pony.
Don't say never.
So she'll only go if everyone else goes.
Go.
Yeah. I have hair in my nose. I have to scratch it out. I'm so sorry. We got to end this live too. We've been going way too long. Ivy's doing wonderful. She still has her issues, her bone infection, but she's taking her antibiotics and she's, I think, getting better every day. Anything else you want to add about that?
Nope.
Dinky Daryl used to love Ivy, but now he's turned more his love towards Imogene and Beverly.
Together, not individually. Together.
He loves them both at the same time. So just don't even ask. Okay. Well, all right. I'm all done if you are, Jamie.
I am. We've chatted almost an hour and a half. That's ridiculous.
That's a long time to chat. That is a long time to chat. In that case, we will end this thing the same place we started it. We love you. We're blessed to have you. And we want to thank you for spending so much of your Saturday morning having coffee with Jamie and I.
And Hank.
And Mr. Hank. Absolutely.
Y'all stay safe, stay well, and we'll catch you on the next video.
There you go. How do I add that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
Uh-oh. Have a low battery in one of them. There it goes. There it goes. Yes.
Excuse me, girls. Don't jump on me. Don't jump on me. Don't jump on me. All right, babe. We're in the green room. There's already people waiting.
Survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend the day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.